It appears that we had cut out there for a moment, technology. I mean, it's only apt and fitting when Sync Your Phones is the name of the episode that the
it's the theme this week.
Is technology gives out. But just came back to kind of wrap it up. So we were talking about sort of a strategy to stay together when you're when you're running nuts, right?
When you're like gone crazy, basically.
Right. Getting those two heavier workouts in, probably a pull, like you're probably going to do some sort of a deadlift, and then a row, maybe a chin up, something of that nature. Then you're probably going to do a push, like a squat and a push press. For me, I always had to make sure I needed those 2 days a week that I could hit my low back to keep my low back healthy, and I needed to make sure my hamstrings were very strong, very turned on. You're gonna lose some muscle mass.
I already feel it.
Yeah, it's
a sad day.
And,
yeah.
And it's gonna feel.
# losing gains. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. It is now.
Yeah.
Losing gains. Oh god. Yeah, you're gonna feel weak, and I think if I were to go back and do it differently, I would have put more emphasis just into glutes, hams, low back, and just really focused on postural muscles like that, because you're going to find as you're walking around, you're like, man, I just don't feel as supported. And that's really, your hamstrings absorbing that force.
Yeah.
Your glutes keeping you tight and erect, and your torso vertical, your low back just being able to support your general walking around as you're on concrete setting up a gym. Like it's going to be it's going to be a lot of load that way.
Definitely.
I wouldn't worry at all about your pressing muscles. Like hit that through push-ups, hit your chest through push-ups, and I would worry about really just making sure you have a decent strength in overhead pressing and mobility. So if you have good strength and mobility in your overhead press, good postural muscles, glute, ham, low back, you can pretty much get everything you need in your chest through your push-ups. So that's how I would run it. And then any other times besides those two heavy ones, and then like maybe a push-up workout,
yeah,
like going to be bonus, and I wouldn't program it in. I would just get it and go fun. Like that might be your sled pushes. That might be your I'm going to pick up these dumbbells and walk around the block today. I mean, it's just going to be the random.
What would you guys suggest for women? Because women can't really do enough volume typically in, say, a push-up to get an effective workout. I mean, unless they're really high-level athletes.
In terms of, like, when life hits the fan?
Yeah. Like, let's say, you have, like, just these short amounts of time you can dedicate towards your workouts. Like, what would be the best things you could do?
Women, I would say deadlift. Numero uno. I think you got to be able to pick something up. I think you got to have that postural stability. I would probably say same. I'd say glutes, hams, low back. So I would say a deadlift, some sort of a very, very highly glute-driven exercise. Even if it's a standing glute machine, or if it's just a hip thrust, a box squat. Something of that nature for your hips. So I'd say something for your full body movement, like a deadlift. Something directly for your hips. Maybe something like a reverse hyper for your low back. And then I would hit maybe like a yoga once a week.
Good for stress too.
Because you're going to get the stress down. You're going to do a lot of down dog. Down dog and push-up plank, which is going to be enough for your upper body. And then I would say you're either going to go to the track, or if you're not very much of a sprinter, I would say sled push. What do you think?
I've become a big fan of those loop bands, the ones you can wrap around your legs,
Bands, yeah.
and it gives them a really good you got it.
Oh, okay,
I've been and a lot of my female clients can really, really feel what it means to turn on their glutes and they shove out with their knees as hard as possible in this band. And so some of my female clients are like, oh man, don't have any time to go to the gym. Like, just grab the loop band and go squats, go box squats with that loop band. and they love it. Like, man, my ass is sore. I'm like, yeah. Good. That's great. So I'm a big fan of that.
I'm a big fan of glute bridge, single leg.
Single leg kills me.
Yeah. Organized and single leg glute bridge.
I love that. RDLs even. I love RDLs. Single leg RDLs.
For you, Lauren, I think it was what's been helpful for you, just kind of getting in glute work every day, or?
Yeah, I mean, I try to do some glute work every day because my glutes are not my strong suit, shall we say. So I do try to work them every day with just doing like even some of the glute bridge, single leg glute bridge. If I'm at home, I'll even do some of the ankle weights, kind of the old school James Fonda. Some ankle weights and
it is.
Weight,
so like you're like abducting like leg to the side.
Or she's doing like a quadruped, just a quadruped.
Oh, like
I call them the quadruped Brazilian butts.
I have seen that.
Those are at home things, but like if I'm at the gym, it's like deadlift, single leg
squat.
Yep, leg press, squat.
Cool.
Doing what's it called? Hip thrusts on a prone ham curl. That's a great way to set it up. Use a prone ham curl.
It makes it so much easier because they still with the bar and the plates, and it was like
such a setup, right?
Yeah. I thought I'm gonna spend 10 minutes just setting this exercise.
Yeah. No.
So the machine is like hugely helpful, even though it wasn't really designed for that. But
right. So I think when women are cutting short, I think it's that same thing. It's the 2 heavy lifts a week, and then maybe they're not doing a push-up workout, but they're doing a glute workout. So with a mini band, some hip adductors, thrown in some single leg glute bridge. One of my favorites is an EQI prone ham curl, or like an ISO extreme, where you lay flat down on the ground, face down, and put your leg up at 90 degrees and raise it as high as you possibly can while pushing the hips down.
That's a beast. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
The Aztecs, like a lot of them in the beginning of the season were really struggling with that.
Well,
it's hard.
I mean, it's a full hamstring activator. It's just a brain rehaul, because it's like taking a taser to someone's hamstrings. It's like electrocuting them.
We all know.
Again, we don't promote violence.
You and this. But, so when you're running short on time for women, I would say do a prone ham curl so your hamstrings are nice and active, so they protect your knees. Follow it up with something with a mini band, like a box squat, and then finish it off with a glute bridge. And maybe a push-up plank, just getting organized, and that's maybe their version of what we would do for like a bodyweight workout with like push-ups and things like that.
I'm a big fan of that push-up plank to a downward dog, going back and forth and just bracing hard. Yeah, and just like screwing your hands out, shoving your elbows in, getting your abs tight, getting your glutes tight, and then when you come up, just shrugging your shoulders. I mean, I think it's great. Just creating all those internal cues while you're doing that movement makes all the difference. But if you're
totally.
Pack the shoulder and the
exactly.
Scapula, just like transition between the down dog and the push-up plank I agree, is amazing.
Because I had a client in San Francisco that would do that, like, oh, this is so easy. I'm like, well, are you squeezing your glutes? Are you pulling your abs in? Are you? Right. Yeah, and she's like, changes
everything.
Absolutely.
Stay organized. But yeah, I totally feel you on the falling apart, and sometimes
me too. We've all been there.
I think if I could also go back and do it again, I wouldn't be so concerned with programming, and like when you're in a good progression and you're moving your weights up and forward, I would first off, because it's just going to actually frustrate you more than it's going to help you, I would just stop. If you're in a progression now, or you're lifting and you're increasing your weight, or I would just stop and be like, I'm going to do these movements this day, and I'm going to do these movements this day, and then I'm going to work in a bodyweight workout sometime in between, and I'm just going to constantly. The other thing I did that was really helpful though was doing all my banded distractions, mobilizations in the morning, tissue work with the lacrosse ball.
Oh yeah.
Just making sure your tissues are healthy, so that when you get into the gym, you don't feel like you're just destroyed.
Yeah.
And when you do get in the gym, give yourself a good warm up, like what I call the old man warm up, which is like you don't necessarily do all the tissue work and smashing, but you just start like moving around. You do some sled drags, you do some push-ups, some squats. Like you just start like actually almost like
working out,
very, like intensity. Some 45-degree hypers. I would just like kind of do like a half-paced workout for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, all right, now I can get ready and go do my.
You know what's funny is whenever I've been going to the grocery store with Judith, who's my girlfriend, I would use the the grocery cart as like an ab wheel, and I like roll it out with my hands and then pull in and crunch hard. And while she's like deciding what she wants, which takes forever, I'm just like going back and forth. I'm like,
one way more embarrassing to top you on that. When I was a ballet dancer, I would go shopping. It doesn't matter who was there, but like my girlfriend at the time, she would be like picking things off the shelf, and I would be supporting myself on the cart and then sliding forward and rolling my legs up, so it was like a full swing the elevator.
I can see it.
And was like basically clipping my legs together behind me, what's called a cabriole. So I was like practicing my cabrioles in like Costco or something.
Yeah.
I was doing like arabesques. So
I think I want to go to the grocery store with you. Oh my god.
But I was like practicing. I was practicing like my tech. So I was practicing my arabesques and my cabriole and arabesques.
Oh my god.
Oh, boy.
Bless her heart.
Judith
definitely puts up with a lot of my weird stuff. I mean, I while I was waiting to see this bank teller, it's like, man, my hips feel kind of tight. So I just drop into a squat. She's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I'm just squatting. I mean, this is like, I'm just. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just doing what we're intended to do. We were intended to squat. She's like, big sigh, walk away.
I can't imagine why.
See, I just own it, though.
I can't imagine living with someone like that.
Yeah.
No, it's so foreign.
I mean, I know if it's like a really important meeting, I understand, but like, I just own it. Like, I'm intended to squat. I'm gonna squat. I don't want back pain. I don't want the stuff in the future. I'm gonna squat. Yeah. So I just do it, Anyway.
Probably wrap it up for today. We just wanted to finish off. I know you have to get moving, but it's great to kind of reconnect. And I love that we've started. You guys are gonna start seeing a lot of little shorter in between ones. We want to stay connected, and
absolutely.
So where can people connect with you?
TrainLifeFit.com, and then check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/TrainLifeFit. All your updates for TLF Gym are coming up. Your
Facebook stuff is always chock full of information.
Time to get my.
Pictures of your new place look awesome.
Thank you. Time to step up my Instagram game, though.
I tagged you.
I know, I saw that. I did see it. Thank you for that.
You can change your handle name.
Yeah, I got to do that. I understand.
But guys, when my phone gets up and running, and actually, what's your Twitter?
At TrainLifeFit.
Okay.
Because you guys said you want to start taking some more questions.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Mine's at Coach Scott Frost. When we're going live, please tweet us. Tweet us any questions you might have about nutrition, eating, movement, training,
life, personal development,
habits, the nervous system, breathing, meditation. I mean, it all, metabolics, hormones, whatever your wellness equation is. And we're going to get our Skype up and running soon, so we're really excited about that. Check me out at CoachScottFrost.com, and it's just a hub to see what I'm up to. From there, check me out on Instagram. See Scott Frost. Friend me. Let's be friends.
Yeah. Where can they find you, Lauren?